meeting just recently that we will record this this session and share with you on Swecare's YouTube site later on. But warm welcome, everyone. My name is Michaela. I work at Swecare Foundation together with Anna. You can wave maybe.
Yeah.
We're in different locations today. We're hosting this together with MedTech for Health. We have Henrik with us from that side. And throughout this session, it's the third event that we're doing towards the Dutch life science sector. And we're happy to have Maike and colleagues sort of joining whenever they're able to. But we will start off with you, Maike, from the Netherlands Foreign Investment Agency, and sort of give us a tour in the ecosystem of life science and how the setup is. So we're happy to have you on board. We will actually reach out to all of you later on to ask you if you're interested to take part in a delegation trip that we're planning to do this fall. We're looking at October as it is now. So that's... Did I forget to mention anything, Anna?
No, I think that's good. Yeah. Also, we said that if it's possible, if you agree, Mike, also to have questions a little bit as we go, because
Yes.
usually they pop up and then you forget them if you can't.
Yeah,
post.
sure.
But
Yeah.
maybe raise your hands or some way to make us know that you're.
We already got confirmation that we can share the presentations later on, so we'll share it with all of you after this event. So
I think we can add also that we would like you to have your cameras on in order to have a bit of communication.
Yeah, that's all.
Great.
Nice.
Good to see
Yeah.
people. Well, then I'll just hand over to Maike. Thank you very much for joining this webinar.
No worries. And talking about presentations, I'll share mine. I don't know if I can still see you then, but if you have a question, just feel free to
We'll let you know.
unmute the microphone. Yeah. I think you should see my screen right now.
Yes.
Great. So welcome to this webinar, all of you. Great to have you here. My name is Maaike van Linde, and I'm working as a project manager Nordics at the Netherlands Foreign Investment Agency. I believe you've already had a couple of webinars and you've heard a lot about the Dutch life sciences and health sector. I hope you learned about a lot about our country, but also that we have enthused you a little bit, and we hope to do that today as well. And show you more of what we can offer to you. And of course, we hopefully see what you can offer to us as well. So today, my colleague Jeroen Gruter, who's not yet in the call, but joining us soon, and Rutger de Graaf. Jeroen and I are from the Netherlands Foreign Investment Agency. Rutger is from the Netherlands Point of Entry, which he will explain later on. We will build on those webinars and show you what we have to offer in terms of business climate, and how you can, if and once you're interested, also expand your business to the Netherlands. Let's just see if I can get to the next slide. Yep. To start off, I will also best introduce why we are actually the ones telling you this story. So I'll give you a brief introduction about our organization, our services, what we can do for you, and my colleagues will dive deeper into specifically the life sciences and health sector. So as the Netherlands Foreign Investment Agency, in short NFVA, and the Netherlands Point of Entry, we are the governmental bodies in the Netherlands that are responsible for assisting foreign companies to expand to the Netherlands. Both the NFVA and Netherlands Point of Entry are part of RVO, that's the operational body of the Dutch Ministry of Economic Affairs and Climate Policy. And our mission as NFVA is to, well, I already said that, assist foreign companies to locate and expand to the Netherlands. I will expand on how we exactly do that later on. but we do this together with our various regional development agencies in the Netherlands, with whom we together form the Invest in Holland network, where we as the NFVA are the national body, and we can provide all the information on national regulations, etc. Our regional partners know all the ins and outs of their local ecosystems and can guide you through them. As for the NFVA itself, we are located in The Hague, the political capital of the Netherlands, with about 50 people, and we also have 29 NFVA offices abroad on various embassies and consulate, which together shapes a team of 130 people. And recently within Europe, we've opened an office in Paris, in Munich, and in Vienna, and we have yet to open an office in the Nordics, in Scandinavia. Might happen in the future, because we really have a renewed focus on Scandinavia, as well as we see that a lot of innovative and influential companies actually originate from that region. And within our organization, I'm the contact person for assisting Scandinavian companies with their international ambitions. So as NFVA, together with the regional development agencies, our focus is not only on just attracting any kind of foreign company to the Netherlands. For us, the importance of attracting foreign companies really lies in the fact that you, as foreign companies, can add smart and innovative solutions to our existing landscape, and that you can help us with the global challenges that we face, but that you also in Sweden also face. And we believe that in order to face these challenges, whether it is offering affordable healthcare for all, or more the sustainability challenge we face, our Dutch knowledge is not enough on its own. So we need to see where countries, but also companies, can work together, and where our knowledge and your solutions can find their match. And apart from that, we also offer an excellent business climate for scaling up those solutions for impact. And as said, my colleague Jeroen will dive deeper into your sector specifically for that. But what we do as NFVA and our services we offer, well, we have over 40 years of experience in assisting foreign companies. So we know a bit about what challenges or what you might face when expanding to the Netherlands. So our services include, for instance, connecting you with our local ecosystems and knowledge centers and networks for you, but also offering, for instance, more practical introductions to service providers, ranging from labor law specialists to recruitment agencies, for instance. And since we're a national government agency, we can give you all the information about the existing subsidies and incentives in the Netherlands as well, about the regulations and procedures, for instance, how to form an entity in the Netherlands or how to open up a bank account. And we can also make a selection of available business locations suitable for your requirements. Apart from that, once you're actually interested in the Netherlands, we also warmly welcome you to visit us and to visit, for instance, the business locations of your interest, or to visit those relevant partners that we've introduced you to. We would happily organize that together with you as well. And last but not least, we provide also tailor-made information on the various sectors that are important to us, of which life sciences and health is definitely one. Well, this webinar is one way to do that, but we also, of course, like to have some one-on-one interaction with companies. The most important to mention as well for now, I think, is that all our services are free of charge and confidential. So I've already said a little bit about the Invest in Holland network. This image just shows where we are actually located, where our colleagues are located, and that all over the country, they can provide you with the local knowledge, and also they are really in good contact with their local municipalities and legislators. So if you have any questions on that, they can help you, and we will make sure that you end up with the right person in charge. But
may I interrupt and just ask a quick question? Would it be a long waiting time for the companies to actually get these first-hand one-to-one contacts with the regional partners that you have, or are they, you know, very available?
There should be. Of course, I cannot guarantee anything about how fast my colleagues will reply to their emails or calls, but no, definitely that should be. We really try to be as open and communicative with companies as possible. So feel free to reach out, and we know to connect you to the people that are relevant to you. So no, that's really. They should be able to answer your questions quite fast. Yep.
Great, thank you. Sorry.
No worries. So I've just said a bit about our services and what we as an organization can offer to you. It's also a question, of course, of what the country can offer to you. Well, in terms of life sciences, I'm not an expert on that, but I just wanted to show you this more general picture to show you mainly that Sweden is doing great and exceptional, as you can see, in all rankings. But that the Netherlands is also not doing too bad. And I say that with all modesty required, of course. And I'm very proud of the fact that we do not only score high in terms of competitiveness and innovation, but that we can also offer you quite happy people, as you can see. And the question is, of course, where does this competitive business climate derive from? Well, for each sector, that's a bit different, of course, but more generally, I think these are 4 factors that really come into play for the Netherlands. First of all, is that we have a really strategic location in Europe, and also for the rest of the world, we're very well connected. And we also offer an international business climate. I think that is also recognizable for the Swedes, of course. You offer that, I guess, yourself as well, with a high quality of life, and in the Netherlands, a relatively low cost of living. And to add, for Sweden, I believe, but you might disagree, that our cultures are, for a great part, also quite similar. So it might be, once you're also thinking about expanding to the Netherlands, it might be easy to adjust to our culture as well. And for our fiscal climate, I can say that we have quite a competitive tax rate, as well as, for instance, the 30% ruling, as we call it. This means that foreign employees or expats can receive 30% of their income tax-free to compensate for the so-called extraterritorial costs of living abroad. And of course, these kind of things, we can also give you more information one-on-one or send you more information after this webinar, because that's quite specific, but just to give you a brief overview. And in terms of workforce, we offer a highly motivated, well-educated and multilingual labor force, specifically for the life science sector. You will touch more about that on that later. So I hope for this part, more generally, this is giving you a bit of a general introduction to our business climate, to the Netherlands, and has provided you with a clear overview of how we can help and assist you in your international ambitions for the Netherlands. And I think most importantly, the message is feel free to reach out to us, and we're happy to help and warmly welcome you to the Netherlands. And I think my colleagues will tell more about this afterwards, if Rutger is already in the meeting.
I think he is.
Yes, I am.
Great.
Thanks, Maaike. Tack så mycket.
And should we just quickly, if we have any questions to Maaike, I saw that Masoud, you wrote the question. Would you like to ask it yourself?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much for very good presentation and insight. My name is Masoud Jadidi. I'm working at Imaging Care. It's for remote patient monitoring for the region. We have 2 regions in Sweden. So, of course, Netherlands is one of our go-to-market strategy market. And my question is, if it's possible that the NFEI connect us to the healthcare provider directly, such a hospital or primary care or specialist care or home care?
I think that Jeroen is also already in the meeting. I think you can best explain how you would usually do this.
Yeah, I am. Thank you, Maaike. Nice meeting you. And my apologies that I was a bit late. I was in a bit of a rush with traffic and everything. Because I saw the other one as well, like for the one-on-one calls with the regions, we're happy to set that up. If you would like that, could you then please also provide a bit of a description of your company, but also what your needs are? Like, is it only that you want to have connections? Do you want to establish here in the Netherlands? Do you want an office? Do you want a lab? Kind of like all these things, because then we can also see where the best fit is with a region, because the Netherlands is a small country, but we're trying to really focus on the different regions, and that the regions themselves have also a focus on specific areas within the life sciences. So that depends, like if it's more biopharma, medtech, but also more precise in that sense. And with your question to the healthcare providers, it's always a bit difficult because we say we don't do business development, and this is of course getting close to business development, but it's also a bit of a startup for a company. So yeah, we can do that for a bit. We can't do everything for you, but the nice thing actually is when you are in the Dutch ecosystem, but I will explain a bit more in my presentation as well, it's very easy to actually knock on the door of the hospital and get your own connections there. So once you're established here, you can also quite easily move into those next steps. So we can give you a little push, but eventually you do have to do it yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you. So should we then move on in the program? I think I saw Rutger that you're online, right?
Yes, for sure. I'm online.
Would you like to proceed with your presentation?
For sure. Let me see if I can share my screen. If it's okay, that's possible. I was wondering if you can see that now. I can't see it myself.
We recently saw your screen, but now we see ourselves.
Okay, and now you see my screen again, I assume.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, welcome
But
all.
it's a little bit small, so if you want to, I can share it from my side.
Please do so
At
now.
least I see it very.
Yeah.
Then I'm back and I will stop sharing.
Okay, so I'll share then.
Well, I kept it really short, but I think most important in our ecosystem is that you get connected. So I will zoom in on some of the facilitators and I will tell something about how the Dutch healthcare is structured around these healthcare, not only the providers, but also mostly around the insurance companies. And the insurance companies are pretty active on the capital market also. So you will find a lot of these insurance companies doing investments in investment funds. Yeah, perfect. I see my presentation. So we can start about that. Yeah, second slide.
Okay, there.
Yeah, we have a relatively small team of 6 people. We're mostly dedicated to international talent and entrepreneurial talent that's coming to the Netherlands. And the startup ecosystem is really connected to that. Next slide, please. Well, this is something the same as in Sweden. I lived in Sweden for a few years doing my master's and my PhD, and I realized the only thing I couldn't do really good in Sweden is work, because at the work floor everybody still spoke Swedish. But on a daily life, I could communicate with everybody because English is the main language. Well, in the Netherlands, this is exactly the same, and I would say in the startup and the tech ecosystem, English is also the preferred language on the working floor. So, you get by really easy with non-Dutch. Second page. This is the only big difference I found between the Netherlands and the Swedes. The Dutch are really, really direct. If they don't like something, they will tell you. If they think it should be better, they will tell you. And I think that's the only thing you will see, that it's a little bit different in the way we communicate sometimes. But that's something that is really easy to pick up on and to act accordingly.
Rutger, sorry to interrupt. Do you mind talking closer to the phone so we can hear you a little bit better, or speak up a little bit?
I will move otherwise, because we work in these days on co-working spaces, so we're not having the space to our own anymore. So I will move to a place where you can hear me maybe a little bit better. Is this any better for you?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, that's about the Dutch directness, and then I can get the next slide, please. Yeah, well, we're centrally located in the Eurozone. We probably all know, so we can. I would skip this in this moment for you guys. So also the next slide. The connectedness is really interesting if you look at sending goods or supply chain, but I would say that that's equally in Sweden. So that doesn't make a big difference. However, it makes a difference that the consumer market around you is for almost 400 million. And that's really easily to locate, like also the German, the Belgium, and the French market. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is what it makes it interesting, I would say. We have a comparable ecosystem around startup scale-ups as Sweden, where the only main difference is that with us, it's a little bit more spread out to the country. But that's also because of the size of our country that's relatively small compared to yours. And what you will see is that all these facilitators, they are the network organizations that can connect you to the right people. But this is also the ones who almost all have an investment fund or an investment vehicle. And a lot of times the shareholders are these insurance companies that are then also seeing what is new on the market, what is interesting for us, and where should we participate in so that we can get it to the market and to our customers. So that makes it a little bit interesting. We have, for example, a few of these medtech investment funds around the University of Delft, and we have some of them around the Amsterdam Health Institute. And so that would be interesting entry points for you. We also have a special government-funded track, the seed capital funds, that are dedicated to healthcare, medtech, and digital health. These investment funds are specifically targeting only that, but they're also mostly funded by the government with 50%, and a lot of times again by these big insurance companies in the health sector. If you have any questions about that being connected to them, you can let us know, and I will be more than happy to connect you with them. These are the same ones that you saw just on the map, but the logos only differently. So it's really tailor-made what we do in this case. So if there's a certain question about how you could enter the Dutch market and what you need for, please let us know, and we will do our best to help you as good as possible.
Thank you very much, Rutger. Do we have any questions from the audience? If not, then we'll just move on with Jeroen, who already introduced himself briefly, but now we'll hear more about his work at Invest in Holland.
Yes, thank you very much. So yeah, my name is Jeroen Guter. I work for about 3 years at the Netherlands Foreign Investment Agency, part of the Invest in Holland network that Michael already explained. I have a background in biomedical sciences, and before this I was in consulting. And I will tell you a bit more about the Netherlands as Europe's connected life science and health metropolis, and then focus a bit on the medtech side and the e-health side, because that's the focus for this presentation. I will start sharing my screen. I think that's this one. So I think you can all see my screen now, and now I can see you again as well. Let me see. Slide. Yeah, there it is. So why we are Europe's connected life science and health metropolis. It's actually written on the screen. We are a highly connected and concentrated life science and health metropolis located at the heart of Europe, linked globally via excellent digital and physical infrastructure. What makes us unique is our predisposition for connection and seamless collaboration, which creates drivers of innovation. So to sum up, it's the collaborative ecosystem, it's the gateway to Europe, and it's the leading innovation. And my next slides will also explain that a little bit more. So to have a bit more of a focus, the government and the Ministry of Health has now a mission-driven innovation policy. And the idea is that in 2040, people should live 5 years longer in good quality of life. So not 5 years longer of age, but in good quality of life. And that is achieved through lifestyle, to access of care and healthcare, and to the reduction of chronic illness and dementia. And especially innovations in biopharma, in medtech and e-health will hopefully support this mission and will help us achieve this mission. Here you can see actually the connectedness. It can be on a university level, on a technical university level, on a science hub. Everything, it's a pretty small country, the Netherlands, and everything is well connected to each other, as you can see here. But we can also do that on different levels as well. If you look at the MedTech hub, we're #1 importer and exporter of MedTech in Europe, mainly to China and to the Americas. There are 3 MDR selected notified bodies here in the Netherlands, and we have a lot of shared facilities with public-private partnerships. These are some of the companies that are already established in the Netherlands. These are a bit the larger ones, so Abbott, Siemens, Medtronic, Philips, of course. Then one of the things that is quite unique in the Netherlands is the public-private partnerships. So really the collaboration between government, companies and research institutes. So we call it actually the quadruple helix. So it's and the companies, the government and the research institutes, but always together with the patients as well, because they need to use the equipment. They need to be part of it. So they need to be within that system as well. And the nice thing about the public-private partnerships, it helps with funding, with coaching, especially for younger companies, and it really stimulates research and development in the Netherlands. Now here you see a fast-rising European startup hub. So a lot of funding, capital funding is being invested in the healthcare sector. It creates a big dynamic cluster of startups and many incubators and accelerators to help these startups grow and get to that next level. And of course, you need talent. I think in general in Europe, talent is getting more and more difficult. It's the same in the Netherlands, but we're there to support as a government, but also different types of service suppliers, but also collaborating, sharing the talent, supporting each other with finding the right talent. We still have our 12 universities are all in the top 250 list of universities. English is our second language. Nearly everybody speaks English on a very high level. We're globally ranked #6 in the Talent Competitive Index, and we're also quite easy with attracting foreign talent to the Netherlands. Michael already said something about the 30% ruling. But also because of the English speaking, you see a lot of foreign talent moving to the Netherlands to work here for a couple of years, or maybe even staying longer for 10, 20 years. One of the services that we have is an expat desk. So they support with everything that's needed when you move here from another country. It's the visa, but it's also becoming part of a community, finding housing. So, and also not only for the person itself, but also for their relatives, because that's always an important part with attracting talent from outside. They have quite often a family, they have a partner, and they need to feel welcome as well. Incentives, always important. Our incentives are really focused on R&D and innovation. It's general incentives, so it's not specified to a specific company or anything. It's really everybody can apply when you follow the rules. There's some incentives for SMEs, and there's of course incentives for energy, but that's not really in this case important. Then more to the data-driven healthcare. Some of the things why we are the digital healthcare and data hub in the Netherlands. It's outstanding innovation, ecosystem and business climate. opportunities in the leading markets like fair data, the data train. There's a lot of innovation going on. What to do with data? Can we actually have the analysis at a location instead of attracting all the data to a central location? Talent, and it's of course a strategic location within Europe. It's what I said, the Netherlands isn't a very large country, but it's a nice breeding ground. If you have a new innovation, everything is close by. There's the hospitals, there's the insurance companies you can quite easily speak to. So within that, you can start your innovation and from there moving into bigger countries where the system is not going as smooth sometimes. We're very highly adopted in digital health. 87% of patient-related data carried in digital records. EU top 3 using e-health technology by healthcare professionals. And Euro Health Consumer Index ranked top 3 for the last 15 years. So we're a very digitalized country in that way. Well, here are some of the numbers as well about digitalization, patient records, all that kind of thing. But I will send over the presentation after this this call, so you can have a look yourself as well. Well, some of the important names in the Netherlands, I don't know them personally, but we can definitely sometimes help with connections to them as well. These are some of the really important people on e-health within the Netherlands that or leading one of the public-private partnerships, or being a professor at a university, supporting a living lab, that kind of things. The demand for knowledge and solutions, so personalized medicine, hospital optimization, home care solution and prevention. Healthcare is getting more and more expensive. We're getting less people in healthcare, so we need to have more medical technologies, automation, e-health kind of solutions. Otherwise, healthcare becomes way too expensive. And that's something we notice in the Netherlands as well. We already have, the Netherlands has 3 times less beds per capita compared with neighboring countries. So I think we're already doing it in a pretty good way. During the pandemic, that was a bit difficult because we certainly had not enough ICU capacity because we're so efficient. But that's also something we need to take care of. Like, what if a pandemic happens? How can we still be so efficient with the number of beds that we have? And how can we also move more to home care? People don't want to be in an elderly home. We want to have them stay longer in their homes. But how can we provide the same level of care at home instead of being all in elderly care houses? Then again, the talent, we have a couple of universities on the technical side, but also on an academic side, about 40,000 graduates per year. So that's a nice influx of talent every year, divided over quite a lot of universities spread out throughout the Netherlands. Well, and this is what Mike actually already mentioned. We can connect, we can organize, we can inform, and we can provide, in a sense. And I'm not going to pronounce it, so that's why I put it on the slide. But yeah, this is as an ending.
Anna, this is when you can do your Dutch speaking.
Thank you. Well, that's all I know, more or less. Yeah.
Frågor. Do we have any questions from the audience? So just to sort of understand, big companies like Philips, origin from the Netherlands, how interested are they in, sharing their expertise and, welcoming other international companies to collaborate with? Is that something that they welcome, or is it not part of their scope?
They do. It depends really on their focus as well. They're moving more and more into imaging, of course. And if it's interested, yeah, of course. So what we do is that's why I said give a bit of an overview of a company and what their needs are, and we send it through. And sometimes they say no, sometimes they say yes, and that's also, that's the point where we can't push. So it's really up to their business if they're interested, of course. But then when you establish near Philips, and there's also ASML and all that kind of companies within that high-tech campus that is there, you are on that location and you are part of these events. And there is also the CEO of Philips walking by. And then you can just tap them on the shoulder and say, like, I have the best innovation for you need, and you need to collaborate. And that's that opening, but also that very connected ecosystem that we are.
And
so
Jeroen, also, in addition, I mean, those public-private partnerships, they are not always, of course, small companies working together with universities. Often they're, I don't know by heart because I'm not specialized in your sector, of course, but often we also see that there are larger companies part of those consortia. So that might also be a way of collaborating instead of really tipping them on the shoulder personally, but working together in a larger group of companies and knowledge institutes and government.
As an example, there was a big public-private partnership, EU funded on regenerative medicine, and there's a Japanese company joining now. They didn't establish yet in the Netherlands. They want to, but COVID came and they couldn't travel, of course. But they are part of that community now. And you have all the email addresses, you have all the contacts, and you're actually together developing new technologies. So you then actually can even share or make the connection out of knowledge and out of the things you experience together. And that works really well. And then there's also professors from universities, and they can actually be your stepping stone into another market again. So those public-private partnerships work quite well.
Yeah, I think it differs per company, of course, how open they really are. It's also company culture. But I think in general in the Netherlands, it's really appreciated to have an open business culture, open innovation, and to really see collaboration on campuses as well.
See if we have any more questions from the audience.
I have one.
Anna, go ahead.
So I've heard that the different regions have, in a way, specialized in different areas. And I just saw, for example, Leiden has vitality and aging as part of their curriculum at the University of Leiden. So is it like that, and do you know by heart which ones are specialized in certain areas?
So
not only the universities, but the regions themselves.
Yeah. So yeah, that's true. It's still a process we're in, because there's of course a lot of moving parts. University that wants to specialize in one way, companies that are there that want to specialize in another way. So for now, it would be better if you provide the information. We set it out to all the regions, and they decide on which where there's the perfect fit. I hope within like half a year or a year, we can actually provide an overview of what the specialties are per region. But that's still something we're working on.
So is that a policy, or it's not happening just organically? It's somehow a discussion.
It's a discussion because we want to focus more. We want to create more value to what we attract as a Netherlands as a whole, but also as a region, because eventually when you choose more for specific topics, you will also focus more and can create that ecosystem. And we can actually see that has so much more power if you create that ecosystem of same type of companies all together.
Yeah.
And another thing we learned on the last session about the different codes for the insurance companies, that, I mean, in regards to the digital healthcare companies, if you have an innovation, could your organization also sort of facilitate in this? Because we understand that the insurance companies, of course, you know, they're happy with the contract that they have. You know, getting more companies will just empty their pockets more and more. How can you facilitate in that kind of arrangement?
So I tried to get somebody in this call also to talk more about the insurance companies and the healthcare system, but that eventually didn't work out. So apologies for that. It's something we don't do that often. So I would need to look into that, how that's best done. There are, I think, a couple of service suppliers, but sometimes it's also just because we have a lot of health insurances, but actually there's only, I think, 4 or 5 major ones that split up. And sometimes it also works to just have a talk with one of them and ask them, how it works actually.
Do a little bit of the lobbying, I assume.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, in a way we do.
Do we have?
I have one question. What I understood, it's you are connecting to different partners, if I'm understand correct. From your experience, what kind of the agreement is very usual to be done in the Netherlands with the partners? I'm not talking about the big companies. Myself, I'm coming from Philips, worked at Philips 8 years before. So, but regarding the mid-size or small companies, what kind of the partnership we can expect it from those companies?
Oh, that really differs per company and anything. So our partners are actually the regional development agency. So we know quite a lot about the Netherlands as a whole. Then there's the regional development agencies. They have all the connections on the regional level. They are in good contact with the different companies there and provide some of the introductions. But then there's, of course, also the incubators, what Rutger talked about. And they have a whole program and there's coaching and they can provide, they do also some of them do some bits of the business development. They can provide support with the business side of it. Maybe even provide location. So it really depends on what you need and where you are.
Yeah, and just to clarify. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Just to clarify a little bit, Jeroen and I from the NFVA were mainly focusing on companies that are interested in the short or long run in establishing in the Netherlands, and that's our expertise. And I think your question might be also a bit more towards business development, like what kind of contracts and partnerships.
The development is not our main focus because we are developing everything. This is a Swedish company based in Stockholm, and we have enough knowledge of the development. More, we are talking about the go-to-market strategy. It means to be connected to the healthcare provider, starting with a pilot project. And of course, some kind of the localization of the product, but we can do it all of them. More or less, I'm talking about the sales partnership. Straightforward.
Chris, Musat, there are different options for you then. Look, you can hire a company that's specialized in helping health tech startups grow on the Dutch market that bring on their own market, but they will ask for or percentage of your sales, or they will have a kickback, or they will have a starting fee. There are different companies that offer these services with different business models, but it mostly comes into they take a regular standardized fee for like a monthly subscription model based, and then there is a succession fee of whatever they sell. The sales are, they take a percentage. That's the most common one, and we know some, but of course, as a government organization, we cannot say go work with this one or this one because they've been really successful. But there are multiple, and we can give an overview of some of them, of course, but that's an option. And most of these facilitators that I mentioned have certain of these services in-house. And it could go as far as that they offer you also office space, and they offer you a full service in that case, or that's just only the business development. There are even ones that help you set up your team in the Netherlands, but it's really tailor-made. This how do you want to plan it? What is your preferred strategy? It's really difficult for us to give you one option in that.
I understand. I got it. Thank you. I have already sent the email to Jeroen and to Mike, to have a meeting. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
So what I forgot to mention in the beginning is that we don't have a Swedish company presenting in this session, sadly. That would then be a fourth webinar, but we'll have to look into that after the summer. But if we don't have any more questions, then I would just warmly like to thank all of the speakers for explaining further and deep diving into the ecosystem in the Netherlands, and hope that all of the companies will be able to connect with you and make the most of the contacts that you have. And we will share the presentations and the link to the recording of this session as well after the event. Did I forget anything, Anna?
Oh, I think that's it. And we will be in touch regarding a possible delegation trip also in a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and have a great
Thank
afternoon,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.